Welcome back to Talking Fire. It's Hilton Turner and Clive Ford. In a previous video, we touched on suppression, and the next topic I think is very relative, and there seems to be a lot of unknowns, and that's just from my perspective in terms of room integrity tests. How often do they need to be done?
Yep.
When do they need to be done? Why do they need to be done? Who can do them? So, Clive, I'm going to pass on to you. Obviously, I'm more on the detection side. Maybe you just want to run us through integrity test. What is an integrity test, and why do we need an integrity test?
Lekker. All right, good. Room integrity test. This is a test that is conducted to see that the room can keep the suppression agent within the room for the required time. Normally, we're looking at 10 minutes. So you have your gas discharge. You want the gas to stay within concentration for 10 minutes inside that room. Going forward, I'll explain to you a bit how it's done. If it fails, then the system will work. However, if the time period for the suppression agent to stay in the room is not met, it will extinguish the fire, but you could have flashback because it doesn't give the fire source time to cool off properly. Okay. So it's a very specialized thing. There are certain companies that specialize in doing this. They basically use equipment, so it consists of a door enclosure. So when you do a room integrity test, you're going to have the technician come there and he puts a frame in the door. It's got like panels on it that close up the room. It's got a hole in it where you put a specialized fan in it, and you've got monitoring pressure monitors on this. So you've got a pressure monitor inside and outside. This is all fed back into a software program on the equipment, on the PC, and they then pressurize the room, take readings, depressurize the room, so they suck out the air again. So they actually take the fan out, turn it around, and suck the air out. Check pressure readings. This goes into software, and it says that using those parameters, yes, the room is going to keep the suppression agent inside or not.
Okay. Does this get done? So, client contacts you.
You're
says,
right.
I need to put suppression into this area.
Cool.
Okay. How does the process? Do we do the room integrity test? Is it a once-off? Do you do it? If it passes, install the system. How regularly? Does it need to be done more regularly? Or is it as per the standards when there's changes or anything? So when and how often does it need to be done?
So the right way of doing it, or the proper way, which doesn't always work, is you want to do a gas suppression system into a room.
Yeah.
It would be best to do the room integrity test first. However, that's not always practical. So you do your installation, you get the technician in, he does his room integrity test, and he says it passes, which is lekker. It's easy. Walk away. 99% of the time, they don't pass. So now, it is not his job to tell you where the leakage is. If he's a nice bloke, he's got experience, and he can walk around with you, and he says, the ceiling, there's a little bit of a gap there. These type of windows, they don't seal properly, so they're going to have leakage here. Got to be sealed up. When you get it to the point of passing, that's fine. The standard says that it should be conducted every time there's a change in the room, a structural change in the room, or the sizing of the room changes. However, insurance companies don't know if the services have been done correctly, and therefore you don't know if there's been changes in the room from last year when you've done it. So it's becoming more and more common practice to do a yearly room integrity test. Remember, on a gas suppression system, you've got to service the detection side of it every 3 months, and then your suppression side every 6 months. So a good service technician is going to make a note of the room, and he's going to pick up that last month there wasn't a door there, all of a sudden a door there. Bring it to the attention and say, there's been a structural change in this room, we need to do a room integrity test. Unfortunately, it does cost a couple of rand, so people don't want to waste money on doing it. So normally it's become the practice now that the insurance companies are asking for a yearly test.
Okay. And just to go back to probably the most spoken about topic between yourself and I, when handing over a gas suppression area.
Yes.
Is a room integrity test certificate part of the compulsory documentation?
It is. It's in the 14520. I'm speaking under correction, but it is a requirement because you have to prove to the client that your suppression agent you're installing into that room is going to stay there for 10 minutes and kill the fire. In general, obviously, you can't. This is going to be a total flooding. You can't do it on a local application because there's no room to keep the gas in.
Okay.
But on a room, and also, so where the problem comes in, when you get your room integrity test certificate, there's some companies that give you 1 page handwritten, yeah, it's passed. Obviously, I'm going to ask questions about that. A room integrity test certificate should tell you what the room is, what the altitude is, what the ambient temperature is, what the expected temperature is, what the risk is, what the kind of gas suppression that you are installing into it is, and whether it passes or fails, with the time it's going to be keeping the suppression agent in there for 12 minutes, 10 minutes, does it pass? So all of those factors should be on your handover certificate. You should get a document which is 5, 6, 7 pages with all of this, the test procedures and that documented on it. If you don't get that, I would ask the technician doing it, have you done it properly? Oh, also the other thing is the calibration certificates. This equipment needs to be calibrated regularly because it's highly sensitive, and your technician needs to be trained regularly. I'm thinking that it's every 4 years that it has to be done. Yeah.
So just to end off, once again, it's more than likely, I'm assuming that the best option would be to reach out to your supplier, whether it's your suppression supplier or a company that specializes in room integrity tests, and just get the requirements, understand the requirements, and let them lead you in the right direction. Alternatively, as we reiterate on many occasions, we are available for any questions. Whatever we don't know the answer to, we are more than happy to try our best to find out. So we look forward to hearing from everybody in this regard.
Yeah, if anybody's had problems.
Because this is a commonly discussed issue or topic around the FDIA table, outside of the FDIA, whenever there is a suppression system involved. These are the questions. So
and also just keep in mind that you're paying the technician to do a service for you. If you're not comfortable or you don't understand what he's doing, ask him. You're paying for him to be there. So it should be in his best interest to explain to you why he's doing stuff and what he's doing. If you go onto YouTube, there's just Google room integrity tests, and there's many videos of how it's done and that. But you definitely need information on that certificate. It can't just be a one-liner say, yeah, it's passed. You need that information because you're signing the job off as an installer. You must make sure that when you hand over, you are confident that it's going to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. Just to end off, the last thing I'm going to say is anybody that does room integrity tests, please, if you feel that our information has been misleading or there's information that we haven't shared correctly, please share that information with us and we will make it knowledge to the industry.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I hope you all learned something with regards to room integrity test. And look out for this video and the next one.